Hey there, Commander. Are you tired of transporting bulky containers of water everywhere? Wish there was a lighter, more convenient solution? Introducing dehydrated water. With our groundbreaking technology, we've removed all the excess moisture, leaving you with a compact, easy-to-transport solution. Our patented, groundbreaking process extracts 100% of the H2O molecules, leaving you with pure, unadulterated nothing. Get yours today! Available in convenient single servings, family size packets, and for a limited time only, the Jumbo Empty Jug Edition. Buy it now from your nearest Starport. And now, introducing our sparkling variety, with our new patented glitter sachets. Dehydrated water, the future of hydration. Warning, must add water to activate. Do not attempt to consume dry.
Oi, how you doing, my brother? So you run some data and you left your little sidey and you're starting to think about maybe a ship that can punch a little bit harder. Well, the Killback, the one with the little flappy wings, is just what the doctor ordered. It is multi-crew enabled and is the smallest ship with a fighter bay, so you can point and they will do your bidding. Ha! It's got 3 utility mounts, 2 small and 2 medium hard points, plus a whole batch of compartments. So if you want a bit of fun, grab a Killback, my son.
I was overseeing the delivery of some slaves to the starport in Exios, and a cleaning robot had just washed the floor, but not left a warning sign. I had to run after a slave that was escaping, and I slipped and fractured my wrist. I was delayed for 10 whole minutes while the Medicomp repaired the damage. My time is billable. Can I get compensation?
Yes, you can.
I was on a regular trading run back to Sol, and it was my job to repaint the outside of the ship. I was given the wrong kind of EVA clamps. Nothing bad actually happened, but it did give me a fright. Can I get compensation?
Yes, you can.
I was checking some robots through customs when I distinctly heard an official call the robots clanks. I was deeply offended, even though I'm not a robot myself. That's their word. You're not allowed to use it. Can I claim for moral outrage?
Yes, you can. At Cowell and McGrath, we are now taking any kind of legal action. No case too small, no justification too frivolous. If you've been lightly inconvenienced, embarrassed, or in any way put out, then someone should be made to give you money. Don't be a stupid clank.
Excuse me?
Cowell and McGrath, taking on any case, playing the percentages.
On your mind, not even like a needle in a haystack. Someone's been there, but they never went back. Is it a gateway or maybe more? Wrexler's on your mind. There's a mystery machine wrapping up my every dream. Now there's tinfoil everywhere.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous,
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from an orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 548 of Lave Radio, the show about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix to Fire, and otherwise known as Colin Ford, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, and joining me in the orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psychit, otherwise known as Claire.
Hello.
We have our SRV Banksy, that is Commander Alec Turner.
Somebody make it go boom. Evening all.
And of course, our Head of Health and Safety, Commander Ed Levice, otherwise known as Ben Moss Woodward.
race cars, lasers, aeroplanes.
Nope. Nope.
Yes. Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Right. Well, if you wish, you can join us live. We're hanging out in Gaming Open. I do believe the Chris Mark IV might be staring longingly out of the window. Chief window licker from now on, maybe. Don't know. But if not, you can always join us in the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live/click on the live chat, or just go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio, or on YouTube, because we're there as well. So let's quickly go around the team, see how they're doing, and we will start this week with Alec Turner.
Can we I like the idea of having a new section in the show called Confessions of Our Window Cleaner. Chris just tells us what he's seen out the window each week. Anyway, yeah, I had a busy week, of which the highlight is I went to see Commander Sulu in hospital on Sunday. So drove up to Birmingham, met up with Commander Skur, who also came up there, and went to see Terry, who is doing all right. It was really lovely, considering the backstory to all this, to see him sitting up in bed, and he was he was funny and perky, and we must have been there for a good 2 hours, just catching him up on Elite news and hearing his stories, and so yeah, it was really cool. It was really nice to see him. He's recovering slowly. I'm going to try and his sort of dexterity isn't good enough to type, but he really wants to re-engage with the Elite community. So we're gonna try and get him set up with I've bought this clamp to sort of clamp his phone to the the tables that you have in hospitals, so that he can have his phone propped up, and he can at least sort of read and scroll stuff. It was really funny, actually. This is a true story, but just today I was experimenting with dictation mode to see if that was a way that he could maybe communicate in Discord, to just speak and have it type. But and this is, I swear to God, this is true. Every time I said the word buckyball, my iPhone translated it as "fuck you." So I apologise in advance if the first messages from Terry seem a bit inappropriate.
I love that so much. That's
But
so funny.
But that's what he's trying to say. Anyway, one thing I thought just to sort of that was also really funny was so when I went over in sort of Dave and Tian over in ECM Huttonland, sort of coordinated a thing to get a bunch of people to send greetings messages for Sulu. And I was able to show him that video on my iPad while we were there. And he absolutely loved it. It really, it just so cheered him up to see messages from all these people that some he knew and some he didn't, and just realizing quite how many people were kind of asking after him. It was just so blown away by that. And some of the messages are very personal, and some of the messages were funny. And I've asked LCU this, but I have to play everyone LCU's message to Commander Sulu. We'll play it in just a second. One little bit of backstory to this message as well is that I only learnt about half an hour before I was going to show Terry all these messages that when he first woke up, he had no idea what had happened. He didn't know he'd been in the coma. He didn't know about the fall. He kind of knew nothing about what had happened to him. And I was thinking, you'll hear in a minute why I was worried, but I was thinking, shit, I can't show him LCU's message. It'll come as too much of a shock. But I checked, and his wife had sort of told them everything subsequently. Anyway, let's play this. Can we play LCU's message, because it's so funny.
My dearest Commander Sulu, you probably don't recognize me because you've been in a coma, but I remember you very well because thanks to you donating your body to medical science, I have been conducting experiments on your comatose body. So it is a tinge with sadness that you recovered, because obviously I could not complete my experimentation, but nevertheless I am delighted for you, and I hope you make a full recovery. In the meantime, if you find that you start producing milk, please do let me know, and rest assured, you have personally signed the release papers, the consent forms, by your own hand, guided by my good hand, and therefore there is nothing for your lawyers to answer for. Best of luck, LCU No Fool Like One from Cannon Interstellar Research Group.
It's so funny. It was so funny. Terry and his wife were in absolute hysterics. I mean, there was a lot of tears anyway, so it was a mixture of tears of sort of joy and sadness and laughter. Just such a beautiful moment, him watching that. Yeah, really funny. Anyway, so yeah, it was lovely to see him. And he's doing okay, and we'll hopefully hear from him soon. And in the meantime, I also wanted to just say that on the drive there, it was a good sort of 2-hour drive up and a good 2-hour drive back again. And I listened to Koso's album non-stop, and my God, it's just brilliant. We were chatting to Tom on the show. I can't remember if it was on air or afterwards, about albums and how albums used to be difficult. You'd buy an album and sometimes you didn't like it at first, and you'd only like one of the tracks or something, but because you'd forked out for an album, you'd sort of persist with it, whereas these days on Spotify you kind of have less of that. You pick and choose, and I will confess that there was only about 4, maybe 5 tracks on the album initially that I could honestly say I really liked. But man, I during that drive I grew to love the whole thing as a concept, as all the dance tracks. I love it. It's an amazing bit of work, Tom. It really is. Anyway, that was my week on. That's the important stuff. Oh, in game. What have I done in game? Completely forgot about in game. Real life's been so much. I in game. I'm still trying to build a ship racetrack around Drakia Point. It's proving quite challenging for ED Copilot, but it's all good because it's making all the time trial tracking stuff better and better. And I think I've nearly got that now. It's bloody fantastic. It feels like a roller coaster. I'm going to have to give it a roller coaster name, I think. So that, and then there's a thing I've been doing, which is a huge amount of fun, with my list of kind of unusual colonizations, but I'm saving that for Community Corner. So yeah, that's my week.
Excellent. Thank you, Alec. Okay, can we please have Ben?
You can have me anytime you want, Colin. What can I do you for?
Oh dear. What have you been up to this week? Do I have to spell it out?
This week I've been helping my mother-in-law move and lots of exciting things like that. Game-wise, I picked up a game called High on Life, going cheap, which has got certainly a chunk of the cast of Rick and Morty basically being themselves. And I've enjoyed running around killing aliens with Morty being Morty as a gun.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. And I've deliberately saved the magical mystery tour thing for tonight because I want to experience it. I thought I'd share it with people while we're doing it, so they can all laugh at me as I fail miserably.
Fair enough then. So that's what you're doing tonight. You're just flying around trying to.
What I'm doing this evening, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, fair enough. So you got a choice now. You can either help Ben, or you can just join Window Liquor Chris.
Claire says I'm in open. It should be fine. For what it's worth.
I mean, just fly about and open. I'm sure it'll be fine.
What could go wrong, eh?
Open. Okay. We're not going to put a bounty out on Ben. Okay.
Makes a change.
Claire.
Hi. It's been a week.
It has been a week.
It has been a week. It's been a week of ups and downs and fun times and bad times. Hey, we did. There's been Elite's been really fun to play. Elite's been really, really fun to play, and there's been stuff going on in Elite which has been fun. Also, No Man's Sky updated, and I thought I'd drop into that for a little bit because they had drops, and who am I if not want to capitalise? But I played No Man's Sky all weekend, and they've done some really amazing things with building your ships kind of like Starfield, but not like Starfield. But you can build your own ships modularly. You can walk around the ship interiors of these specific ships, none of the other ships, because the other ships are just cockpits attached to engines effectively. But you can walk around your Corvette. You can then EVA from your Corvette and go out in space, float around, and then turn around, come back and land. And there's no fade to black. There's no strange transitions or anything along those lines. It's all very, very smooth and very, very, very beautifully done. I've been loving it, but also I missed the previous update with all the settlement management shit. So instead of doing all of the Corvette stuff, because apparently there's going to be there's an expedition that's coming up which will give me more information and sort of like walk you through how to do the Corvette things. And I really like the expedition, so I'm planning on doing that. Hopefully that's soon ? And then we'll do that. So I've been involved with that over sort of the last 5 days over the time when they had drops, but then also been doing the Elite Dangerous stuff because there's been cool stuff with Elite. Today we did the Elite Dangerous thing in correlation, the thing that Tom wrote to go with his album. The thing that Tom wrote to go with his album, we did that, and that's brilliant as well. Just an excellent, excellent thing. On the flip side to all of that, and I do want to share it because it's important that I share things that are going on, and I don't want to dwell on it, so just bear that in mind when I say that. But on Thursday, my dad passed away. So if I'm a little bit up and down or a little bit mental, that more so than usual, I'm kind of wired from that. But I'm FYI, I'm doing okay. So there's no need for any kid gloves or something. But if I make a joke that might be tasteless,
You want me to? Do you want me to get LCU to make you a condolence video? I'm sure it'll be extremely.
I'm good, thank you. but that's kind of where that, like, mentally I'm at about a 2, but everything else that's going on I'm at like an 8. So that's where we're at. I'm okay, but that's where we're at.
Yeah. Well, just say condolences because
You've said all of it. You've said all of it already, and I love you guys for it. But I thank you.
Yeah. Right. Well, okay. So that leaves moi. Yeah. It has been a week. Yes. Plenty of Elite. Yeah. I got Tom's album, and I will say it is fantastic to listen to while you're driving around scanning for biologicals. Makes it a lot less grindy for some reason when you have some decent tunes on in the background. So yeah, that's been good. Done a little bit more Warhammer Art of War, Dawn of War definitive edition, which is always fun, and I'm getting used to using the X56 again, and thankfully went back into VR for the first time since they put the shadow fix in, and I've been flying around in my Cobra Mark 5 for what will be discussed as for obvious reasons later, and absolutely loving it. The shadows, the graphics. I think there's more than just the shadows that have been fixed, because I've noticed a vast improvement in frame rate, especially in VR. And yeah, I'm just sat there going, oh, this is VR heaven. If only it was possible to do it on foot, but never mind.
Nice. Yeah, those shadows. It's funny. I don't know if you must find this even more with VR, but it's not just when they flicker. It's like when they're not flickering, you're sort of bracing yourself for when they do flicker. There's this sort of slight fear about looking at nice things because you're just waiting for them to not be nice.
Yeah, especially when you're flying close to to sunset or sunrise.
Yeah.
That's the worst. At the moment, I'm on a planet which is ammonia atmosphere, so it's got this wonderful red. It's got the red atmosphere.
Yeah, I know.
And yeah, that was notorious for bad flickering. And then here's me driving around in the SRV, bouncing around all over the place, stomach as iron as you can have it, and not having to worry about a sick bucket, which was great. So yes,
nice.
Yeah, my time in VR Elite has been good instead of nauseous. So yeah, that was good. And yeah, there's. I haven't been with a new job less than 6 weeks, and yet I had my first quarterly review today, which is bizarre. Apparently, everything's going well. So yes, that's that. So I guess we'll move on to the development news. So what have the devs said this week? Well, we're not going to sugarcoat this. FU. We've been FU'd. That's it. No more FUs. We've gone. 3 hours before we were supposed to get an FU. Was it 3? Or was it less than
four,
that?
I think.
It wasn't many.
4.
I think it was 4. Give them that extra hour, Colin. All right.
Took about a last minute decision, honestly.
Yeah, there was a tweet that went out and said, we're not doing FU anymore. You'll be getting information about your game as and when.
Actually, you've missed out, Colin. You've missed out the word that really did it for me. They were excited. They were really excited to tell us this news.
Were you excited to hear it?
It's not the word I would have used.
No.
So, I kind of was. only in that. Well, I mean, my main reaction was rip to the bingo sheet for all of the cretins in chat who are, where's my Elite Dangerous? That's what you sound like in my head. Where's my Elite? It's the most popular game. It obviously makes Frontier the most money. That is genuinely what you sound like. And there was no, so that's not going to happen anymore. So I'm sure there'll be other opportunities for them to probably go into YouTube and start commenting on Jurassic World videos and going, why are you doing that? Or start commenting on all of the other content that's been dropping and going, why are you not doing the stuff that I want you to do? But I think only time will tell.
Yeah, it has triggered a whole load of a panic on the forum. I don't often use the word panic, but it did seem that all of a sudden all the doomsayers just came out of the woodwork. Haven't seen them for 18 months, and then all of a sudden, oh, that's it, the game's going to be cancelled. Doom.
Maintenance mode.
Yeah, and I was just I mean, yeah, I'm not exactly happy about it myself because I actually quite liked a monthly update to let me know that, things were progressing with Elite Dangerous, and I knew that something was coming on that particular time of the month. But in this case now it's as and when, and let's just say when that happened before, it didn't seem to work.
I can vouch for the fact that as and when is dangerous. So this year's buckyball racing season has been very much as and when, and it turns out it's probably not as good as doing it once every couple of months. I do apologize.
Hey, I did one.
You did one. Well done. I did one. Well done. Well done, us.
Well, we put our capes on, Alec, just because the rest of them are too lazy.
Yeah. We might go back to the old format next year. Buckyball Unlocked. I should call it that. The new season next year. Buckyball Unlocked.
Yeah. So it's been commented on quite a lot by the forums, and I thought, considering that at this point, for the last ever since PowerPlay 2.0 has been released, having double the amount of players in Steam charts, knowing that we've got another 2 ships and another update to come for this year alone, goodness knows what they've got planned for next year, but they've kind of dropped a hint that there are further plans. Well, Arth did anyway. That all of a sudden, it's going to be into maintenance mode. I was there thinking, oh, you guys have got no idea.
Very funny. It is very funny. There is a level of, you know what? If you want to think that, don't let the uninstall button be in your way. Just uninstall. That's fine. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Down from the uninstall button, hit you in the arse on the way out.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, well, what do you want us to say to it? Because what you're effectively wanting is people to agree with you and saying that it's a dead game, And I almost made a joke there, and then I didn't. But you're wanting us to properly agree with you, and we can't agree with you because it's really good. And we have Phil in chat from Frontiers, Phil, who is saying the thinking behind it is rather than holding everything back until the last Wednesday of the month, information will be shared when it's ready. And obviously, it's great. But there is an element of oh no. I mean, we don't have anybody in chat. I don't know what you're talking about.
I never heard anything. Nothing to see here. Move along. Move along. Yes. Right. So it's ta-ta to FU. So yeah, that's the end of that. However, that's not all that happened, because today they launched Elite Dangerous Vanguards Patch 2.
Woohoo.
Yes. So that dumped. Was that the right word?
Dropped. That's the word you're looking for. Dropped.
Yes.
Yeah, dropped is a better word.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about sophistication. Yes. So we now have Vanguards Patch 2. Congratulations, everybody in your squadron carrier. You can now have a bar.
Yay!
Oh,
And also, you can hide what your squadron mates are doing.
Interesting.
Which I don't know whether or not I'm happy about that or not, to be honest. Yeah, there's a few fixes as well, but basically, yeah, I think that's the two big headline things that I took away from it. What did you guys think?
Yeah, same. I mean, yeah, same. So the hiding players, I think, is kind of the bar's intriguing only because why, in what way was it not ready until now? I'm fascinated to know
yeah.
what was going on with the bar, but only
Well, I will say one thing. It might be due to performance issues because I was watching Ascorbius on Sunday, and because the bureaucrats have got their own squadron carrier, he noticed his graphics card absolutely go mental as soon as he docked on his fleet carrier.
Really?
Oh yeah,
I didn't experience that.
Yeah, it
I
could
wonder
be.
if this is why I've been experiencing issues when I go to the bar and see Chris and everybody.
It's all
Yeah,
the
as soon
chair.
as I leave the bar, I'm fine.
The collision detection on those chairs. It's hell for the CPU.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, the upshot was that it was the only time his graphics card went absolutely ballistic. I mean, it was running at 98% at one point. And, you do wonder whether or not, okay, they're putting bits in bit by bit once they've optimized the carrier to make sure everything's okay. And I'm probably going to get told that I'm completely wrong at some point. But, yeah, could be that they're just uploading it bit by bit to make sure that, nobody's having major frame rate issues. So, there we go.
I want to read it.
Do you want to read it?
I can read it. The Brigmore Fixes update was the privacy thing. Again, we wanted to get out that ASAP to alleviate some player concerns. There'll be more patches coming, but as with Unlocked, we wanted to get important fixes out as we complete them rather than save them for a big Vanguards update 1 or whatever. We're getting so much hot tea right now.
Thank you very much. That's very handy. Yes. The privacy thing. Well, anybody
I don't want it.
I've got something.
I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want the privacy thing. I think we discussed it last week. I think it's if you're doing something, and I get it. I kind of get vaguely. I still don't really understand why it would be important for explorers, but for if you're doing something in the galaxy, or if you're doing something in the galaxy that has an effect somewhere, we can still see that. So, say someone from my squadron did something in someone else's system, and you could see that my squadron would be working on on something. On some sort of BGS work, and I feel like we should be able to see who is doing that. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go on, Alec.
I was just going to say again. I suppose I'm intrigued to know, like, if it was intentional that we should be able to see that a certain squadron was active in our system and then go and look at that squadron and see the individual members of that squadron and work out where they are. If that whole thing was intentional, then I suppose I'm slightly surprised at it being taken away again, because although I understand the kind of knee-jerk player reaction of, oh my God, how dare they reveal to the world where I am? In a way, I'm kind of, in a way, sort of last week's guard frequency, and Tony sort of summed it up and said, I'm finding it quite hard to be that bothered about it. When I thought about it, I thought, I don't know that I care very much. Like, what's the big issue? I mean,
Well,
if somebody's being really vindictive, I suppose. You know, if for whatever reason you've annoyed somebody in the game, and they're really determined to chase you down and make your life a bloody misery, then I suppose that allows them to do it. But you can always hide in solo and report them. If you're an explorer, and you're out there and you've made a load of first discoveries and you're worried about someone sniping your first discoveries, you know, coming out there to where you are, scanning all the same systems and then hot-footing it back and selling the stuff before you do. Again, I mean, I get there are vindictive people, but it's far easier to find your own first discoveries than hunt somebody else down and steal theirs. So that seems like a niche. So I don't know that it was that bad, and I don't know that
Yeah,
it
I
needed
agree.
taking away. I think it was interesting. The more I thought about it, the more I thought this is quite interesting.
I mean, mind you, unless those commanders are in open, well, as far as the power play is concerned, unless those commanders are in open, there's absolutely nothing you can do. The one thing that I still appreciate is the fact that you see the active squadrons in the latest news, so that I now definitely know that Aisling Duval's people are moving in on our systems when they said they wouldn't. So, because I know those squadrons are part of Aisling's power. So, I wonder what the response will be.
And that's like, that in and of itself is brilliant. The fact that we can see if there is a squadron doing shit in a space where they've told you they're not going to, I think that is excellent. Now, if there was a squadron perk where you could turn that off for squadrons or show it as limited, I think that would be really fun, and it encourages nefarious activity. Who am I?
Who are you to suggest such underhand tactics?
No, but I think that would be kind of cool. Like, lean in. Don't pussy off. Lean into it. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not. We all know it. Yes. So, I'm certainly glad to see the patches coming. It's very nice. But that is not the only thing which has happened this week. Yes. Last Thursday, we just when we thought, okay, let's settle into Vanguards, things dropped. Little text messages on Twitter, tweets that came out that got everybody excited. And then at the weekend, we got a message and a whole treasure hunt unfold. Psychic, you've done this quite a lot.
I have.
This one, but over to you.
Oh yeah, brilliant. Okay, yeah, I can talk about this. I think Alec has done it as well.
Yeah, I literally just because
ran round.
Yeah, I literally just ran around. I didn't do any code breaking at all.
Okay, cool. Right then. So, I won't be super. I'll be vaguely vague about it. So the tweet went out on Thursday. I think there was a tweet that went out on Thursday with a video of a beacon. 3 hours later, minimum 3 hours, probably quicker, Cannon had looked at where the galaxy was. The boffins, as I like to say, looked at whereabouts in the galaxy it was, where different sort of like Magellan clouds and all of that shit were there, and went, okay, we think it's in this system, and found the beacon. And the beacon had, it's mental, absolutely mental. But the beacon had a few choice words, Alex being one of them, exo, I think exo or something on there as well, and a couple of choice words, enough to generate a little tiny bit of hype. And then it had a string of things that maybe could be binary, and then other stuff later on. Right at the end, and loads of different things. And I watched over the course of 3 days Canon lose their minds trying to translate this and trying to work it out and those kind of things. But it turned out we didn't have the key. The key came through Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
The key came through on Saturday in the form of a message from a professor going, hey, there's a place maybe within 10 meters of this spot, go and find it. And it just so turned out it was that beacon. And we could translate the beacon. And then there were loads of different, really, really lovely, clever game design with some of these puzzles. Like there's one where you need a mirror. So you need, like, it says you need a mirror. And then one where there's like a 2-step to the cipher. And it's really, really well done. I like
there's one in the codex. It's like the third paragraph of the 6th chapter of this codex. It's really nice.
100%. Like, yeah, the one in the codex, which points to one of the spots, and and it just sort of like led us on a little bit of a chase, and then that ended with hitting up a megaship. Am I right in saying that? We got to a megaship which told us a bunch of systems that it was visiting. No, we didn't. We had a ping or a beacon saying it was going to visit a bunch of systems, and then on Sunday the megaship started. It gave it date and time of the first one. So on Sunday at 7 p.m. Universal or intergalactic time, whatever it is, this ship jumped into where it should be. The servers imploded, and we all sort of like beeline to this thing, and it gave us like a big comprehensive list of it. Like with a normal megaship, gave us a list of its intended route, with an exception that it didn't give us all of the route. And it missed out a couple of ones at the bottom, and then it further unlocked, and we could go and see other bits. And yeah, it's been really good. It's been a really well done thing, with to some extent.
So another fun fact, but I was driving back from Birmingham at this point on sort of late Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and I stopped at a service station, and I got a whiff that something was going down. Like the Burr Pit voice channel was sort of going fucking nuts. There was about 50 people in there, and it was like when everyone gathered for the Titan explosion, and I was like, shit, something's going down. So I was desperately trying to eavesdrop. I had no idea what was going on, except that I knew something was definitely happening. And then all I saw was messages saying the servers have fallen over.
It was very much like that. So there is a little trail that you can follow. You end up at a beacon, and you get a fight once you get to, if you get to this beacon, which is called I Found It, you then get another message from our boy, the professor, who is searching for shit, and he gives you a reward. Those rewards include a 40 million plus credits. We've seen reports of different amounts of credits. There is a green Mandalay skin, which is really nice. A green Panther Clipper skin, which is really nice. These are ones that you can't get on the store, so it's kind of cool to have them on the new ships. And then there is a chrome and green Anaconda skin, which is also really nice. So that you get quite a few rewards from getting it done. So I would recommend doing it. You do have to get that message that comes through from the professor at the end to see that reward come through. So I would, if you didn't get it on that first night, just go back and scan that last beacon. I did that today, and then I got my rewards. I'm flying around in the green Mandalay at the moment, and it looks really nice with my squadron decal. So that was really nice. The general consensus, from what I can see on the interwebs, is that there is a permit lock system very close to the final system that they get to, and the vague idea is that that system is going to unlock soon, and the Galnex sort of confirms that this system is going to unlock soon. Our thoughts are that it's potentially as early as Thursday, or it might be even earlier, but I'm thinking Thursday. What we want is there are 2 megaships that are involved. What I want to see is those 2 together in this last system tomorrow. And if I see that, then I'm going to be convinced. However, downside, the Cygnus megaship, the megaship is called Cygnus. Not a big spoiler. Helpful, in fact, if you're trying to find it. The megaship is called Cygnus that you're trying to find. and the it jumped away, it disappeared, and then it came back into the same system, and then it moved to the other system, and it hung around there for about 3 hours, and then it disappeared again, and then it was in another system, and then the update happened, and then it was gone from that system, and now it's in the paragraph system, and it's
All over the place.
it's a bit difficult to track or make predictions for. Don't get me wrong. One of the notes alludes to the pilot being flaky, but also, and we've talked about this before, as Elite Dangerous commanders, we like to have things happen in an order, or we like things to happen as expected. So when things don't happen as expected, for example, when FU gets cancelled and then we naysay, then it becomes a little bit like fucking that like it like it becomes a little bit like having sex with a clown, fucking bonkers, and we lose our mind.
Oh my God.
And like I'd love to be able to predict it, and I can't, and that is my problem right now. So there is that. Although Phil, I think community manager Phil, says, I can confirm that the Cygnus is behaving exactly as planned. So I don't know what to say.
Well, yeah, because the other on your trip round, you come across the Orion, which is the other mega ship,
Mhm.
and I think as soon as that one jumps, then I think it's game on. And as far as I'm concerned, the Cygnus can jump around all over it is. I'm not watching the Cygnus, I'm watching the Orion, and once that one jumps, then yes,
Yeah.
I think we're up and running.
It was doing my completionist head in, because, like
Yeah.
I say, I just sped round it, because we've got a link in the show notes to a Canon site that gives you the whole trail if you want to follow it. So I just did that, and then it really bugged me that I couldn't find the Cygnus, and basically I sort of, well, because people were saying it was jumping around a bit randomly and also apparently disappearing completely. And B, because I had no idea where we were in the cycle, or indeed how long the cycle was. Like, was it daily or hourly or 3 hourly? Or I was basically just jumping to the 5 or 6 systems listed completely randomly in the hope of finding it. And they're not close to each other. They're quite a lot of jumps. And eventually I got bored and just then, the Cygnus can go fuck itself. I
Yeah.
couldn't care where it is.
So,
and I
so
gave
there
up.
is a system where they're both supposed to rendezvous before they move to the last system. So, which is the I found it system.
Yes.
It's the same one as there. So, I've been sort of like just nipping back to that system. I say nipping back. I'm in my Mandalay, so it's not that far, but I've been nipping back like to that system, have a quick look, turn around, come back, and continue on with what I'm doing, because there's not a lot else left to see. I'm expecting them both to be in that system tomorrow evening.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, that system is exactly where I am. It's got tons and tons of plants to scan there, so I'm having a great time just driving around scanning, listening to Tokuso. Although I will say one hint, because I was a little bit lost. I thought, okay, so we've got this list of systems. I wonder if there's anything to scan by just hacking the comms beacons.
Don't do that.
Can I just say, don't do that. Don't do that at all. Because, yes, I'm...
They're now big mad at Colin.
Oh, yeah.
Not welcome at any of the comms
detours to find a low security system to just clear my name. But so, yeah, you don't... It doesn't help. Although, I must admit that you never know what they might slot in next time, just to make things a little bit more interesting. So, yes. I mean, I went through it all on Saturday. Psychic, you beat us to it completely, so, you know, got around it before anybody else had a chance to.
I was really excited. You know what? I was really excited for the distraction of things happening in both No Man's Sky and Elite. It was great. It couldn't have been the better timing. I was like, okay, let's go. Let's not give a shit about anything else and go and do that. So it's been really fun. It was ultimately quite fun to watch. To watch like new people entering the like as a fly on the wall in the Canon Discord, watch new people entering the Canon Discord. And a few people said it in chat actually, were like, hey, just go and put it through Chat GPT and it will tell you how to do it. And this is something that was fully unsolvable. Go put it through Chat GPT and I've managed to figure it out. Have you bullshit? Get out. That was quite fun. That was quite fun. One against the AI. You love to see it.
Yeah, one thing that I did like was the fact this is split into two. So there was this first section where we were all running around getting things decoded, and then all of a sudden it said once we worked out that there was a megaship coming at a certain point later in the weekend, we sort of went, oh right, so that's as much as we can do today. And there was more to do the next day. So it was staged, I thought, really well. So congrats to the Frontier team for that. Because
I agree, and I was going to say actually on the sort of staging really well. I think it's super cool, unless I'm misinterpreting this. I think it's super cool that Frontier, when they put the really short tweet out with the star background of the image of the beacon, were like, well, if they did manage to find it, let's put a really encoded version of the beacon text there just in case, and then we'll swap it out for the non-encoded version of the beacon text
when
tomorrow,
we're ready.
when we actually plan to do this. But I like that they, that there seemed to be a kind of, on the off chance that they actually managed to triangulate the position of this thing, let's give them something to find. And
but you know that this lot are able to bloom and find it. If they got even the slightest hint of where Raxler could be, they'd be on it.
Yeah.
I would love to know what the Frontier's sweepstakes were like.
Is that further evidence that Raxler can't exist? Because if it did, this lot would have found it by now.
Well, if it's to believe, if Michael Brooks is to believe, they just put a pin in the galaxy somewhere, and it's only David Braben who's got the address in his office, according to Michael Brooks and others. But
it's a lovely story.
It is a lovely story. But even then, because it was put in at the beginning of the game, there'll just probably be a little beacon saying, "Congratulations, you found it. Thumbs up."
Can you imagine how upset people would be?
No, because
I love it. The salt.
Yeah, because that's what would have happened if, there was when Drew had his book, and there was a clue in the book to point to something in the game. When people actually found it in the game, there was a fantastic megaship. But that was after the megaships were put in the game. If anybody had found it before then, it was going to be a disarmed Anaconda.
Yeah.
So you get there and you got this busted down Anaconda, and you go, "Oh, that it?"
Yeah.
So, yes. Right.
You know something? I'm just wondering if David actually has it on a pinboard in his office or something like that.
100%.
Blatantly obvious for anybody to see if they.
Galactic coordinates everywhere.
Can we quote this from the chat room?
It's the secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. Only David knows it, and the original recipe is locked away in a safe.
Yep.
100%.
Right then. Well, we're going to leave the mystery behind for the moment, and then we'll pass on for the community news.
It's decided it doesn't want to play the little jingle thing.
Well, that's not good enough. I insist that you hum it. I want you to hum my jingle.
Hang on. Let's see if I can get it to work.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Not doing this bit until my jingle plays.
Yeah, but he got us to sing daft things when he knew he'd got it lined up. So he just thought, we'll get them to embarrass themselves.
Well, if it takes
Amazing.
much.
Amazing. It's quite a cut down community news this week. I don't know if it's me because I've just been busy doing lots of other things and haven't had time to pay attention, or whether the game is just so not dead that people are too busy playing it to actually make content or whatever. But I'm light, so I've done something slightly different this week. So first of all, I will just say that all the usual suspects that I never bother to shout out because they're all so brilliant and they do it every week. But Exorcist is out there. Italiu's doing his flight assist off kind of Isanona style stuff. The Burrs do what they do. Ricardo Gaming is churning out stuff as usual. Project Theme Star is flying around in his full motion rig. Psychic streaming, all the usuals of street. So it's all going on. It's all going on.
The Burrs have dabbed up to 11 this week, frankly, with the Secret Soul stuff.
Yeah. So when I say there's nothing happening this week, no disrespect to all the aforementioned who are so good, I just don't bother mentioning them. Anyway, I have a couple of things to mention. So I did just want to do a slight public service announcement on behalf of ED HUDmod. I've not been prompted to do this. I just suddenly thought somebody should say something for God's sake. So anyone who uses ED HUDmod will know that all your colors look a bit broken at the moment. And hopefully by now, a lot of people realize that every time Frontier release an update, whether it's a big update like Vanguards or it's a patch update, it changes things. And then the guys, the devs over at ED HUDmod have to work like hamsters on MDMA or something. I don't know what that does to hamsters. It's something that makes them run very fast. The EDM devs have to play catch up and try and fix ED HUDmod to make it work again. And then they get halfway through that, and then there's patch 1, and they have to start again, and they get halfway through that, and there's patch 2, and they have to start again. So, and what's really funny, well, I find it funny, I'm sure the devs do not, is that if you go to the EDHM Discord, about every 5th message is somebody new popping in going, "Hello, my ED HUDmod stopped working," and then loads of replies from everyone else saying scroll back about 3 lines where there's a post explaining that ED HUDmod is currently broken because of the patches and they are working extremely hard to try and fix it. So yes, they are working. ED HUDmod is broken. They are working incredibly hard to fix it. And just to give you a sense of how hard they work, there's a message from Fred, one of, if not the ED HUDmod dev, and I'm just going to quote a bit of it because I think it's fascinating. He says, with little and simple updates, the most time-consuming part is making sure everything works properly. To know if something works, I have no choice but to test it in-game before displaying it. So yes, that means opening every menu in ships and on foot, in stations, in colonies, in fleet carriers, checking out the Thargoids, finding biologicals for the biome overlay, everything. ED HUDmod relies on 89 shaders, 70 which are modded, and hundreds of textures. That's a lot, not including the 7.3p mods that I also manage. And it goes on, but basically the devs at ED HUDmod are working incredibly hard to restore all your lovely colors. So patience, it's coming. And a round of applause, I think, for the devs there, because ED HUDmod's fad, but what a lot of work. Right, onwards, Community Corner. I have one bit of community news. It's a bit random, but it was a tweet by Charlie Hall. Am I right, Colin? Charlie Hall's an author for a mag, isn't he?
He used to be. He was. I'm sorry. My name. My name's not Colin.
Whoever.
My name's not Colin, but I did interview him as part of Flight Assist. He is. He's lovely. He used to work for Polygon, but he was made a little while ago. He was when Polygon got rid of like 90% of their stuff when it got maybe all of them. He was one of the ones who went. He did a lot of like space sim stuff, and then he moved on to D&D stuff. So I talked to him a lot.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, Charlie put a tweet out, and because of I did that little map. I think it was last week, just showing it where colonization had gone. and he put a tweet out that basically said, a fan-made colonization map of Elite Dangerous is beautiful. The amount of in-game work that went into these gorgeous tendrils. And there's a link we'll include in the show notes to a kind of interactive colonization map that I hadn't seen. It's a bit wacky. It takes a while to load, and then it takes a while to render. But once it's rendered, it is cool, and you can spin the galaxy map round and zoom in and out. I confess I'm slightly confused by it because it seems to be missing some bits of data, like the major tendril going north towards Sagittarius A seems to be missing entirely from it. So I don't quite know whether its data's up to date or what. But it is cool, and once it's all loaded and rendering, it's a very cool zoomable map. So take a look at that. Right. Just lastly, in absence of community news, what I thought I would do is just quickly mention a handful. I've probably got too many in my list. I might skip some. A handful of the interesting colonization systems that I've been trying to kind of build a list of in my forum thread, and I'll include a link to the forum thread. So just running down this list, and this is just a smattering of the sort of things that you can find in that thread and that are now out there. There's AEB City, colonized by Gizzard in NLTT 10259. I think we've mentioned this one before, but it's one of those large circular planet ports perched right on top of a mountain. So beautiful, really nice atmospheric planet. And all the support arms that go around that port, they all hang over the edge of the mountain. So it's super cool. And you can have like little parkour challenges of trying to jump from arm to arm without falling down the side of the mountain. So it's really fun. Next one is Col 285 Sector GLX C1-11 by Keko Summer. And this fantastic system contains one of every kind of Odyssey settlement. So if you're thinking of building something in colonization, you want to know what they look like, there's one of every kind in Keko Summer's system. Let's skip a couple. I've got far too many of these in my list. This one's really cool. There's a place called Chaotic Good Institute, created by I think this is the architect, Eeriest Griffin D2, in Scorpii sector CQYB4. And what they've done, a few people have tried similar, but this one is perfect. It's so good. There's 6 settlements in a big circle around, I think, the edge of a crater, maybe not. And then another one smack bang in the middle. And the whole arrangement is so beautifully symmetrical that it's visible from space, particularly at nighttime. You can see like this little, it almost looks like a vaccination scar or something on the surface, these little set of 7 lights. It's wonderful. So I really like that one. I mentioned ghost giraffes last week. I mentioned the one with the big geyser last week. The Vela Pulsar, I think I mentioned. The last one I'm going to mention is where I spent quite a lot of my week, actually. It's called Shara Enterprise, colonized by Pokey Gustavo in IC 2391. Oh, this is a very long system name. I'm not going to read it all. It's all on my list. And what this is, and I don't quite know the circumstances that brought this about, but it's a Coriolis. It's one of the 2 truss Coriolis, so the noob hammer Coriolis with 2 arms. But its altitude above the planet that it's orbiting is less than 200 kilometers. Which is extraordinary because it means not only is the station orbiting inside the orbital cruise zone, so when you go to land at the station, you've got things like your sort of planetary landing HUD on the screen, but you can actually see it from the planet, which is mind-blowing. So if you land on the planet and look up in the sky, you can see this Coriolis going past. It's incredible. It's a bit weird. So if you land on the planet, if you try and land on the planet too close to where the Coriolis is, then you're still basically within the influence of the Coriolis itself. So when you drop out of glide, you'll still be swooping along the planet's surface at the speed that the Coriolis is orbiting, and you won't be able to land. But what you can do is land ahead of it. If you go about 250, maybe 300 kilometers ahead of its path, you can land on the planet and then wait for it to go overhead. And then when it goes overhead, it kind of scoops you up and then you start flying around the planet with it. It's beautiful. Please don't fix it, Frontier. It's fine. It's slightly broken, but it's glorious. And what Pokey Gustavo's done subsequently, which is really cool, is they've placed a planetary base, I think 2 now, in its path. So you can actually fly ahead of it, land at the planetary base, and then basically wait for a 2-armed Coriolis to fly over the head of the planetary base. So it's incredible. It's a really cool location. Anyway, all these locations and many, many more are in my guide to interesting colonization systems and stations on the forum. I can keep sending them in. I get through them eventually and add them to the list. They're really cool. And that's it.
I mean, actually, when you think about it, a Coriolis at 150 kilometers isn't that bad, because you got the International Space Stations at a bit higher than that. But...
Yeah. It's nice. It's not huge in the sky. You have to, like, I've posted some screenshots, and you kind of have to zoom in, but it's very definitely there, and you can even see the 2 arms. And if you watch, I've got a bit of video of it, particularly if you time lapse it. It's great because you can see it spinning as it moves across the sky. It's quite something.
Excellent. Yeah. So if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like us to shout about it across the airwaves, tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com. So the in-game events, what has been happening this week? Well, we didn't have anything until today. Until then we suddenly had a news drop of the mystery of the missing exobiology protege deepens. Where it says that the recent hunt for maverick exobiology scientist Terry Tora has only deepened the mystery surrounding her disappearance. And it kind of ends with a spokesman for the October Consortium responding to calls regarding the presence of the 2 megaships, stating a routine survey expedition was occurring in that region, but it denies knowing anything about Tora's current whereabouts.
Rub this shit into my veins. It's so good. Sorry.
As one mystery has been answered, more questions are being raised, with ice casters and opinion piece authors demanding to know what lies within HIP 87621 and where Terry Tora is now. Yes.
Come on Thursday, I believe in you.
But yes, it's got people excited and a bit, yeah.
So excited, man. God.
Yes. It is certainly bringing back a whole lot of stuff like what happened before the Thargoid War, which was nice. So that brings us to the power play rankings for this week. Staying in 12th, we have Torval. She's gained 3 systems this week to go up to 634. In 11th, we have Petraeus dropping 3 systems down to 690. In 10th, we have Delaney, who has gained 3 systems up to 712. In 9th, Winters has gained 5 systems, bringing her total up to 719. And in 8th, Kane has gained 6 systems, bringing her total up to 927. In 7th, Archer races ahead with 10 new systems, putting his total up to 966. And Antal is in 6th, having gained another 2 systems. His total is something I forgot to update. And a complete and utter switch around at this moment in time. Grom has fallen to 5th place, having gained only 8 systems this week. So he's up to 1,218. And moving up to 4th, we've got Lee Young Rui with 1,230, having gained 22 systems. Arissa has bounced back in 3rd place, having gained 24 systems, bringing her total up to 1,593. Mahon has gained 4 systems in 2nd place with 1,689. And finally, that of course means that we've got Princess Aisling Duval, having gained 11 systems, retains in the top spot with a grand total of 1,957. almost 300 ahead of everybody else. And that is your Power Play rankings for this week. Yes. Well, it was quite exciting to see a Grom drop down one. I know that was going to fire the Grom community up a bit because they never expected that to happen. So well done to Lee Young-Ru, and I've got to find out where I've gone wrong with Antal. I'll look it up. I'll get it sorted later. But yes, so moving on. I think we will take an ad break, and then we'll come back with our main discussion.
Have you been affected by Azimuth Biotech's provocation of the Thargoid menace? At Turner & Fig, we're ready to pursue claims against Azimuth Biotech as part of our class action lawsuit.
My son has started worshipping the Thargoid god and keeps bringing home human sacrifices. Am I entitled to compensation?
Yes, you are.
My daughter was aboard the Bright Sentinel. I keep calling Azimuth to find out where she is, but I always get their voicemail.
Thank you for calling Azimuth Biotech. We're sorry, but
Salvation
is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
Am I entitled to compensation?
Yes, you are.
I was selling escape pod occupants into slavery, but now Thargoids keep taking the escape pods instead. Am I entitled to compensation?
I suppose so. Thousands, maybe millions of people are due compensation from Azimuth Biotech. Contact us today. Turner & Fig, cleaning out Azimuth Biotech for a huge portion of your compensation.
From the porcelain palace of People's Princess Aisling Duval comes a fragrance like no other.
Duval.
Infused with the steam of stardom and the bare essence of excellence.
Duval.
Eau de Bain is not just a scent, it's a statement.
Duval.
Crafted from the actual bathwater of Aisling Duval, this limited edition elixir captures notes of sapphire lotus, imperial sandalwood, and the untouchable aura of a true icon.
Duval.
Make your friends blue-haired with envy. Eau de Bain, a new fragrance by Aisling Duval.
Duval.
Take a dip.
New from Azimuth Biotech, it's Tickle Me Thargoid. Tickle Me Thargoid is fun for all the family. Teach your little anti-Xeno commander the difference between an Orthrus and a Cyclops, a Basilisk and a Medusa.
Count the hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a Cyclops.
Teach them their weakness and how to exploit them.
Now rip out the hearts, one by one.
I don't want to.
Do it. Using the tool. Do it. Now stomp on its face. Smash its face in.
I've got them.
Tickle Me Thargoid, available now from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers.
And welcome back. Right, well, now that we've had our breathing space and releases and talking to musical proteges and all that kind of thing, we can now talk about the Vanguards update, which we have been, which we've been using for what is it, 2.5, maybe 3 weeks now,
2 weeks.
and it's 3 weeks, right?
2.
2.
Yeah.
Somehow it feels a lot longer. I don't know why.
Yeah, because it's been a wild time recently.
This week's been a week for sure.
Yeah.
It feels like 2.
Yeah. So let's go around the crew and see what they think about the Vanguards update so far. I mean, do you want to include this treasure hunt which is going on as well, or do you want to keep that as a separate thing?
I think this treasure hunt that's going on in the Shadow update is absolutely brilliant. And that's everything I think about
the
it.
treasure hunt's really cool. The treasure hunt's
The
cool.
treasure
but
hunt's really cool, but I don't think it.
feel like
I
we
don't
can
think it
lump that under
counts.
squadrons.
Yeah.
Nah.
We don't think it counts yet.
No, I think it might be something to do with the next update. It'd be really
I mean,
nice
obviously,
if it
and
exists
much
update.
more covers a whole gamut of possibilities. But
True.
Yeah. So, okay. Obviously, a high point for everybody has been the shadows and the graphical updates.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe, Claire, have you got some things you'd like to get off your chest here?
Well, like, hey, I don't want to do a booby jump scare right now, but I do have quite a large amount of stuff that I would like to get off my chest about Vanguards. I don't know necessarily that this is the right moment for me to spell everything, because it is still early days, and obviously they're pushing stuff out as and when they can, and things that they want to get out when they can. But let's face it, at the moment, it genuinely just looks like putting glitter on top of something that is already there. We as a squadron have spent 5 times the amount of money as on a squadron carrier as I have on a fleet carrier with less functionality. You cannot there's no market, there's no commodity market, so I can't get limpets from my squadron carrier, which is annoying. It has a couple of extra rooms. Woo! It's got the bank, but you can't put engineered stuff into the bank. So that bit is kind of dead and floundering as it comes out as an amount, because I'd much rather give my if there's not going to do any engineering material, I'd much rather use the space to hand it hand the money over to let them do it, or to put engineering materials in the 60k space that I have in that. The perks are kind of fun with squadrons. Much of the rest of it just seems like stuff that we've already done in Facebook on Inara and all of that, and we can't access it from outside of the game, so it still doesn't have that as an ability. Limpets are from the restock facility, but if you go in to buy limpets, you can't buy the limpets because it tells you that there is no... being able to buy limpets from a restock facility relies on there being a commodity market, and there are no commodity markets on squadron carriers, so you can't use it there. Whether that's going to change in the future, I'd love it to. Other things that I'd really, really love to see on... I will... maybe we'll come back to things that I'd love to see as added. I'll talk with things on that I have problems with. It feels like a half-baked idea, and some of the stuff that I thought was good, i.e. the being able to see other people's locations, has already been walked back. So it feels like more of the update is being taken away than it is being given. I like being able to send money directly to other people. I love the... I love the fact that we have a squadron decal. I think that's brilliant. I'm so excited. About having a squadron decal. That's really nice. At the moment, we've got enough for the squadron carrier for years upon years upon years in the squadron bank. So I'm not even concerned about that, but it literally has just been a money sink for the squadron, just to go, oh, I've got some spare cash, let's chuck that in there. And it's all it is at the moment is just like a dick measuring contest. Hey, we've been able to buy this, that kind of thing. That's pretty much where I am at the moment. I'm very nonplussed with it. I'm very, very nonplussed with it. A lot of my problems revolve around the carrier and the way that's been implemented. I think I like this, having other members of the squadron being able to do stuff with the carrier as well, like if they've got the right levels and they can send it around places. I think that's pretty cool. I wish there was more functionality to the carrier. I wish with the squadron carrier we had the option, or as squadron as a squadron to be able to invite or to be able to allow friends onto it, or even just allow anyone onto the squadron carrier. You know, at the moment we had to do a really funny. We had to do a funny thing where we had someone we had the announcer come into my team, and then I could fly him onto the ship, but then we'd basically kidnapped him until he could get into an escape pod and those kind of things. So I feel like there are some nice features, but it's I want the bigger carrier of it. And like, if you don't want it to be a bigger carrier, I just like the option to be able to like invite friends on rather than, or like open it to everyone. Then it justifies the commodity market. There's no meat to the update as well. And I know you guys are probably going to say something along those lines, because I know you, Colin, were expecting like a multiple amounts of like you were hoping for multiple amounts of being able to set missions and things for your squadron.
Yes. I was hoping that you could set activities or things like that. Obviously, that didn't appeal. I mean, personally, I agree with about 99% of what you're saying. The one thing that I would disagree with is the ship bank. And I'm going to be controversial here because I don't mind it being as it is, because it's not for us. It's for people who have just joined your squadron and you want to give them a leg up. I mean, I know I'm fully with you. I'd love it if you could store engineering materials. You can farm out engineering materials to other people. But listening to the loose bowels, screws. There was Chig made a fantastic lore point that the engineers who create these specialized modules, they create them for you, the player. And if people can then just farm that out to other people, it feels that the engineer might be a bit hacked off with you. You know, built that.
That's fine. Reduce my rank then.
Someone else.
I'm going to disagree with you there, Colin. I think, you know, it's like, you know, to take it out of elites, it's like Han Solo letting somebody else fly the Falcon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're not making copies of the ship. You're not making copies of the ship. Like if you go to an engineer and you have some handcrafted frameshift drive applied to the ship, you're not then replicating that. You're giving that ship to somebody else. So it's not like you're not really.
Yeah, and I'm not. It's like if you buy a car and then you get it tweaked by an engineer. Like, let's put a real life equivalent. Buy a car, get it tweaked by an engineer, and then they've souped it up for you, and then you resell it, or you even give it to somebody as a gift. Is that engineer going to be pissed off because I've already paid them for the work? I've already given them the materials that they needed. I built my reputation up with that guy.
Mm-hmm. Also, I mean, I kind of see squadrons a bit like a squadron, really. And, you know, if I were doing some kind of military squadron or research squadron or whatever, I'd want to go and set up end ships, set up so we can all go and do this job. And then I could just go and say, right, everyone jump into Explorer Ship 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, hang on. I've just had a thought. Has anybody tried this? Has anybody put a Cobra Mark IV into a ship bank?
You might not be able to.
You can't.
You might not be able to because it will say something about a rank of some kind. I would have thought, like, you can't put.
You can't put rank lock ships.
You can't put rank lock ships in there. So I imagine if it's locked to certain things. Apparently, it has been tried. But I would be I like. I don't. I guess you can't. Would be my thing. I'm disappointed with. I'm disappointed with not being able to engineer. And we said this as soon as when they talked about it, and they were like, obviously not engineered. And I still don't think that it should obviously. I don't understand why it's obvious for it not to be an engineer, other than the fact that Frontier are concerned that they won't make us much money.
Well, I think also if you just start handing out engineered modules, I do feel that if there is a new player, you're actually depriving them of the engineer gameplay.
Okay. So why are Frontier selling engineer chips for Arcs?
I know that the engineer gameplay is has got a grindy reputation. There is stuff out there that's actually quite good. And I must admit, first time you everyone remembers the first time they go to an engineer's place to get things upgraded. And I feel if you just hand that over to people, then yeah, it's. I mean, I know, yes, you can get the engineered components on the jump starts, but you get that. But if you want any more engineering stuff, you still have to go through the engineer grind. Well, no, I say grind with a small g now, because the modifications they've made for actually getting materials is a lot easier. But I think it would be, it's like the Guardian stuff. Can you imagine if you start giving people just the Guardian modules without people discovering how fantastic the Guardian ruins are?
Yeah, absolutely. I can. I'd do it in a minute without a problem.
Well, so you give people the Guardian stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Point to them saying, "Oh, there's something really good over there. You got to give it a try."
Yeah, if you've decided if you've decided that you don't have the time to be able to invest in finding like epsilon data when it's a random choice of getting it, yeah, absolutely. I've got Guardian frameshift drive sitting in the wazoo. I'll go and do it. Go and do your if you want to go and do your exploration. Here, let me give you a Guardian frameshift drive. You don't need to go and spend like 3 hours sorting that out. Go on, there's your leg up. I've got no qualms doing that.
It feels a bit of a shame that people will then just not find that gameplay.
Well, there's
They're already not finding it by buying the ships.
Not necessarily, because the ships aren't.
Logic, not necessarily if they get it from the fleet carrier.
If you gave everybody engineered things, everybody would be class 5s all the way.
Okay.
We all know that it'll be completely class 5s. It'll be all completely ranked out. So nobody would even bother going to do the engineering stuff or the Guardian stuff at all.
Okay.
And I just find that if if you start doing that, you might as well just cut that part of the game out.
Okay.
That's and I think that'd be a shame.
I've never been a fan of engineering anyway, so I'm all right with that.
I think I'm probably with you, Colin, actually, on this. I mean, the money thing of being able to buy engineered stuff for Arcs, I get it, but it's also slightly different because it's money. So, people will hesitate and they'll only do it. It's very different to just being able to jump in somebody's squad carrier and take one for free, I think. Feels like a different kettle of fish. And I definitely agree. I really love the engineer sequence as a thing. But I also hear what Claire's saying, and I know Claire's it's slightly different, but maybe you're sort of thinking of certain things that Katie will not do.
Yeah.
It's not that it's difficult, because in some cases people will be skipping stuff like the Guardian sites that is really good fun gameplay, and frankly they could do it and they would enjoy it if they did it. And maybe they're just looking for a shortcut, in which case what Colin's saying is like, really they would be better off going and do it. They'll have a really good time. They'll really enjoy it. It'll be some really fun days or weeks of gameplay, and they'll benefit and they'll get the thing. And then equally, there are people that have maybe even tried it and just hate the way the SRV bounces around like a bastard at those Guardian sites. They did it for half an hour. They absolutely hated it. They never want to go back, but they would still quite like to have a Guardian frameshift booster.
Yeah.
And in those cases, I think being able to give it away would be good. But it's difficult because you can't do one without the other. You can't say, well, only people that hate this gameplay can have it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's an element for me of being like, hey, I think you should give it a go first. If you want to have a go and do it, if you decide that it's not for you, hey, I've got a shit ton of stuff that I could give to you. Just like if you like, here, let me give you this frameshift drive. Let me give you this Guardian frameshift drive booster. See how cool this is that you can jump this way. I don't have any more to give to you. Do you want to, like, if you want to unlock it for use all the time, go and do the Guardian sites.
Yeah, that's true. It is a one-off. It is a one-off.
I'm agreeing
Some
with.
weird bloke called Dallas Scotsman is going on about a material bank on the ship.
I mean, I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, I'm also fine with that.
I am absolutely fine with that. Because if you have a material bank, then you basically you can still get the engineer stuff, but then again, it's the actual gaining. Well, I suppose if you get the you still got to get influence and achieve access to the engineer. That's the interesting stuff. It's the grinding of the engineer's components that can be the slowing down of the process. So I'd be fine with them just getting the engineer. An engineer bank, a map bank, where you sort of say, "All right, these are the new stuff for the squadron members. Off you go to the engineer and get your stuff." That's absolutely fine.
I think loans would have been brilliant.
Yeah, loans as well.
We did discuss loans, and right from the outset, I thought, because I think there was a point where a lot of people assumed it would be loans, and I kept thinking that's quite difficult. There's quite a lot of issues with how you implement loans, and but loans would be great because somebody would borrow an exploration ship that had a Guardian FSD booster, and they go, "This is brilliant! I'm definitely going to go and do that Guardian stuff now because I really like this." I think loans would have been interesting, but difficult. I'm not underestimating how difficult the implementation of loans would be. I think there's all sorts of difficult issues to solve with that.
Yeah, I mean, going back to another point, I mean, I am disappointed that the fact that you can't create for your squadron mates some kind of, I don't know, weeklies or little mission chain or something like that for them to do. I mean, I'm a little bit. I thought there was I don't know whether or not I misinterpreted something they said in a previous FU that implied that you could have that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed that that kind of functionality isn't in, and I completely agree with you. It's like as far as the whole squadron thing's concerned, it does feel like glitter over the existing system.
Yeah, I really loved the Shadows update. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but then again, it could be that something's coming further down the line that if you have a squadron, it will be of more of a advantage. We don't know yet. The next update, it could be that being in a squadron could give you a leg up.
If you could add one thing to it as it is at the moment, not necessarily to change it entirely, but if you could add one thing, what would be the thing that you would add? And think one of those how hard can it be kind of things, like a simple thing rather than step-by-step missions and all of that kind of shit. Is there something
only to the squadron one, yeah?
Yeah,
like squadrons in general, if you could add one thing to the squadron.
Oh, that's easy. For me, it would be guest members.
Okay.
So you can. I know in other places you can be a guest of another guild.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, I would like to be part of the Buckyball or
yeah.
or yourselves or,
Mhm.
or Canon as a guest.
Yeah,
So
that's a
you
good
know,
one. That's a really
I
good
think
one.
you're
What about?
basically saying what I was going to say. It's like, let me be in more than one squadron at a time.
Mhm. Alec?
The ability for a squadron whose owner has gone missing in action to be taken over by a second in command.
I feel like that is really, really pertinent for a couple of squadrons. So
It does seem like a rather obvious thing, frankly.
mine would be a material bank.
Oh,
Now everyone's saying that. Give me the material bank. We've got an on-foot material bank. Give me an actual material bank. That would probably stamp out any problems. Like with I still wouldn't put any engineered ships into the engineered, but I will have a material bank, and I would offload all of the shit that I've got from thingy, and probably then some to redo it from power play, and then some.
yeah,
That would be brilliant.
I'm fully on board with the map bank. I think that would be fantastic. I mean, you've got it for on foot mats, so ship mats, please.
Ship mats, please.
Yep. So that anybody else got anything on that? No. Okay, well, I guess we'll wait and see how the rest of the update unfolds with with this treasure hunt. And thanks for the shadows again. So we'll hand over, because we asked people exactly the same thing, didn't we, Claire?
Yeah, the question of the week it's back off its holly bobs. On a Sunday, I ask a question of the week. It goes out on Twitter, on Blue Sky, and in our Discord every week. It's been off for 2 weeks. It's had a lovely time. It's sunning itself. It came back to Twitter, asked its question of the week, and we got bots galore responding. So if I've missed you on Twitter, my apologies, but that's on Elon. I will just leave it there. But the question of the week that we asked was, again, what do you've had 2 weeks of Vanguards. What do you think of it?
Well, starting off this week, we've got Bally. I'm going to go with Ballyunas Hub. Vanguards feels like it was an infrastructure update. It facilitates gameplay, but doesn't really bring anything new. Maybe combining Vanguards with a colonization could be a thing? How hard could it be?
Everybody drink.
Very much so. Right, I have Fishtails USA.
Woo!
Isn't that DuckTales?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. And you've got someone who can sound like Scrooge McDuck. Anyway, the bank is a great addition. The logo creator is a good step. Rotating and resizing of logo assets plus lettering would be a good tweak. I was hoping for the expanded wing of up to 8 or something. Also, multi-crew to use the bridge on a PC. Individual characters cost 200,000 a ton. By that metric, a squadron carrier should have been 12 billion. I figure 15 billion at most because of expanded utility. An extra 10 billion is just ridiculous, because it's 25 billion, yeah, obviously. Our squadron will instead deploy 3 personal carriers with a combined capacity of 75,000 tons.
Yeah.
That is a good point. It seems that having multiple fleet carriers assigned to your squadron actually might be better than.
Yeah, you can have anyone join them then as well. You can have anyone come and join them if you want. If you're doing stuff with pals, you can do, and also there's more. If you've got 3 fleet carriers instead, there's more space. There's more landing spaces, because that's more than a squadron carrier. You've also got the commodity market that you could use. You can also get limpets from your do that instead. This is just
I think if you're a disciplined squadron, and you've got 3 or more people you can really trust are going to stay with the squadron for a while and use their personal fleet carriers for squadron activities, then it's hard to argue against just buying 3 personal carriers with exchanging funds. via the normal means if necessary, so they can afford it. Good one. Right, I have got Elite Sightseeing Tours. He says, being able to have logos as a dynamic decal is fun. Also, being able to implement money buffs, stroke discounts for colonization, etc., is worthwhile.
Hey, that was someone happy with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Some small
Very
wins.
nice. Nicey says, a good start certainly, but I do feel that they could have done so much more. Squad goals, for example, have some in-game way of encouraging everyone to mine, haul, or kill something. Could be worse, I suppose. Nicey!
It occurs to me, somebody said something in chat that made me think this. It occurs to me that I suppose people could implement this stuff semi out of game. So obviously you can administer the ranks manually as a squadron owner. So you could have a rank where you can say you could post a thing on the message board and say anyone who can prove they've done these 3 things, I will move them up to this rank that lets them do more stuff like get money out. So I can see we might start getting out of game tools or systems for implementing
That's feeling very much like a
what should have been in
plugin
game.
for EDMC.
Yep. Yeah. So
yeah,
create your set of weekly squad goals, and I mean, actually, yeah. If you look at the Elite Dangerous FR website, if people have done their adventures, the sort of things that even that website, I mean, it's not even a
Yeah.
third-party download, it's just a website. The sort of things that can detect that you've done, there's one of their adventures involves basically jumping in an adder and encouraging someone, encouraging a griefer to shoot you, as I recall. And the website can detect that thing has happened, and award you, completion of that adventure. So yeah, somebody could easily, I say easily, definitely doing air quotes now.
Housekeeping.
Somebody could create a website which is set your squadron some goals, and it would register when they've done the thing you set, and you could use that to manually promote them to higher ranks. Oh, I like that idea. Nicey.
Mhm.
This is from Nicey. Go ahead and do that. You do stuff like this. Nicey can do it.
Kind of stuff.
Nicey, how hard can it be? On you go, love.
Nicey squad goals website coming soon.
Blink and heck.
Right, Elvis Kreven, once I've got my eyes back. Not had much interaction with it other than to throw some funds in there. Would really like the ability to set access for friends, allies in there somewhere, like on normal carriers. I'm writing this after seeing the patch notes, so the other thing is now fixed, which was the visibility options.
Yeah, Kremen. This is the first time Kremen and I have ever disagreed on anything about this game. Well, I thought the visibility options should be a thing, and he didn't. Wild. It was a wild time. It was very contentious for a moment. It wasn't. We didn't really care. It was fine.
Okay, I have Profane Pagan. Hello back, QOTW. I hope you had a nice vacation. The shadow rendering update is superb, and the guild system has lots of neat features which helps communities explore their own playstyles. Hopefully with subsequent patches, FDev will fine-tune it. I just hope on-foot gameplay won't be forgotten. Yeah.
You never know. We've got the Exobio thing happening. Mystery.
Yeah, I still think fleet carriers and squadron carriers would make great on-foot battle maps. But yeah, you never know.
Commander Mad Dog says the Vanguards update. Well, where to start? Ah, yes, shadows. Yep, that's about it. P.S. Radio 7 Attack of the Onion Heads. Listen to it now.
Listen to it now. It's so good.
Yes.
Somebody make it go boom.
Somebody make it go. Silas Resi says, no change for me. Just still pootling about in my in the panther for my colony. What's Vanguard? It's probably the best take.
Little Big Yin. He's saying the Shadows fixes were amazing. The rest of it, I've been on Squadrons Carrier once. Meh. Although I think being able to see where your other squadron members is good, as it does help towards people arguing that being in private groups solo makes you invisible. At least now you know if a squadron is working against you.
Yeah, I mean, that's already coming useful in power play. We know that dirty bathwater bint is has gone back on her word. Or to toilet myself. Right, shit, well, I have. The new feature came with some really good fixes / improvements, which is really good. As for the new stuff, good first. Flag creation, absolutely spot on. As nice as it would be to drop an image in nowadays, it would be misused by too many people, and the option they gave us were good enough to create a great flag. The perks have had a good variety, and none were too overpowered to spoil the game from what I've seen so far. Seeing what squadrons are active in the system is really good. Choosing ranked names is really good for game immersion. The leaderboards are good, even though we are well down on them. The carrier is out of reach at the moment, so I can't comment on that. The squadron search lets us see a lot more detail about the other squadrons, which is good for seeing the big picture of the galaxy. I, in general, like this mod and hope it will be improved over time with an inter-squadron comms method. Hey, we missed that one.
Oh, as a request into squadron comms.
Inter-squadron comms would be great, yeah. Really would be great. Just anything.
Isn't that called Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
That's the thing. Isn't that Discord or Naro or something like that? You know.
Okay. Yeah. There a bear on. I promise to try and keep my answers shorter this time. All in all, I've been very happy with the Vanguard update. I was somewhat skeptical about it prior to its release, but that was based on the, quite frankly, lack of promo material FDev gave us about it. One 10 to 15 minute slot on Frontier Unlocked, showcasing something that was still work in progress. Honestly, I expected more. However, totally loved the squadron perks. In my opinion, this was the biggest positive change for me and my squadron. The banner system is good, but I'm a bit disappointed that the selection of icons are not scalable or can't be repositioned. Think FDev missed a trick there. The bank is a good addition and useful for newer players to get off the ground quicker. Sharing of unengineered ships is meh. I get it, I understand why, but I still think the limitation makes it a pointless asset in the game. Might as well give a player the cash from the squadron bank and tell them to buy it themselves, which they can then go and engineer when they're ready. Squadron Fleet Carrier is another swing and a miss, IMO. 5 times the cost and more limiting apart from the cargo space than my personal fleet carrier. We're not going to rush out and get one regardless of how cool it actually looks. I have thoughts and opinions where FDev could take Vanguards in the future, but I'll wait for a question of the week on that and not take up any more airtime. Lol.
I will. I'll do it. I'll do the question of the week for you. That works.
Thanks, Sarah. That was a good response.
I love his responses. It's so good.
Yeah.
They're so good. Speaking of long responses, this is Epaphras says, sorry, this is going to be a bit of a long one.
We'll strap it in.
Oh, God.
Who were Mrs.
That's what she said. He said, shut up. Initially, it was going to be like, oh, nice UI, shared bank and squadron carrier. However, when starting to look more deeply into it, issues start cropping up. The squadron carrier costs 5 times as much as a personal one, yet lacks all the features of a personal carrier. The features it lacks impact squadron gameplay in a way in which you could still be better off using a personal carrier for squadron activities. The lack of a commodity market, for example. Say you're a squadron doing mining/trading, you load up the carrier with goods and take it somewhere to offload for profit. Without the market, those loading the carrier get nothing for their work, as they can only donate, not sell to the carrier. Those unloading the carrier get all the profit, as they remove the items from the carrier at zero cost. The loaders and unloaders are not always going to be the same people. Also, squadron carrier can't bank a percentage of the profits by having the sell price a little above the buy price to go towards the running costs. It would rely on those unloading. Unloading, donating money back to the carrier from their profits. Going back to mining, without a commodity market, you can't buy limpets, and a squad doing mining to load up a carrier would need a lot of those. The lack of a redemption office is another issue to gameplay. Let's say you're a combat squadron, use the carrier as a base for wars and such. Without the redemption office, you can't catch in the bonds and bounties you pick up, so to risk not getting blown up. The squadron carrier would have been ideal for things like the trips the Burr Pit put on for their community. Lots of room for us all to be in the same instance and hang out during jumps, etc. Just one small issue. Only squadron members can dock there. These trips are for the community, not just the squadron, so it's made up of people of all different squadrons. The favourite parts of the update, the shadows have been fixed, and I've been able to send Elvis Kremen 1 unit of bio waste directly via the squadron bank. I think all of those are super valid concerns for something that is supposed to facilitate squadron-based gameplay.
Yeah, Epipus can drop the mic after that. That's really nailed them to the cross on many, many good points.
Right. So I hope everybody has now vented and had their point of view. Are we all feeling light? Are we all feeling better?
No, because nothing's changed. I think if we put a pin in this and then revisit it in like a few weeks' time and have another look and see if anything has changed, if the updates are coming in the frequency of which Frontier is telling us they're supposed to be coming, then maybe if we put a pin in this, come back to it in a few weeks and see how we feel about it then.
Yeah. So, any other business? Has anybody else got any other business? No. Well, just a couple of things I'd like to point out. If you have actually applied to the Lave Radio Squadron, please reapply because your application's timed out. I didn't believe we'd actually get any applications, so I never checked. I am working towards a squadron carrier, however, and I can promise you all now, the only ships that will be available in the squadron bank will be A-rated orange Sidewinders, and you have been warned. Right? And the other thing is the winner, Commander Zach, of the Elite Miniatures Chieftain model. That is in the post. It should be arriving with you by the end of the week. Let us know when you get it. So, shout outs. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio. It broadcasts on a Thursday from 8:30, and you can tune in at twitch.tv Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. I actually had some CQC on Sunday. That was actually quite fun. Got my ass kicked though. While we're there, we're giving out shout outs to other Elite Dangerous podcasts. So that would be The Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. We have the Loose Bowels, Screws. I will get it right next time. So that they will be approaching their 300th episode this week.
Wow.
I know.
Catching us up.
Cute.
And of course, if you speak French,
I just let the funky music do the talking.
there is also the wonderful Elite Dangerous podcast, who also do these fantastic missions as well, which also include music by Commander Tokoso.
Yay! Hey, download Tom's album. It's real good. It's so good.
It's good. Yes. I know several people who already have. Yep. So following on this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest that's provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. Would like to thank anybody who's chipped in the Twitch chat and the Chris Mark IV. How many people have visited you while you've been licking windows?
While I've been licking windows, I have had a visit from Commander Khaled, Black Knight 7607, William Solo, Siberius, and Commander JT.
Not Hooker, not JT Hooker, just JT.
Just JT, yeah.
Oh, dear. Anyway, special thanks goes to Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have all created music that we use in the show. So that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like us to get in touch with the show, you can find us all the contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. If you do have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode, drop us a line there. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Claire.
Thanks, pals.
I'm being corrected. It was TJ Hooker, not. Never mind. And thanks to Ben.
You're welcome, Colin.
Thanks for Alec.
Thanks, Colin. Night, everyone.
And of course, special thanks goes to today's tech specialist. That would be the Chris Mark IV.
You're welcome.
So until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted into them. We need a safe word.
Space can be low.
I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Update, 2nd of September 3311. There are rumours that the company behind the Artemis suit might have made a major advance in the study of exobiology. But if they have, it seems they're trying to keep it secret. Commanders searching for missing exobiology student Terry Tora, after her professor Frank Radix sent an appeal for help, have uncovered messages pointing to something mysterious going on in the permit-locked HIP 87621 system. Professor Radix explains that Terry, a brilliant student specialising in rare alien flora and fauna, believed she was on the verge of discovering something big, a discovery that would excite the wider scientific community. He also hints that he may know more than he's willing to share, but that Terry's discovery could have major implications for the study of exobiology. Terry has left a trail of messages that are worth following, not least because if you complete the trail, you get awarded 40 million credits and 3 rather nice green paint jobs. In her messages, she describes 2 ships belonging to the October Consortium, the Cygnus and the Orion, that will rendezvous before jumping to a secret system. Her final message suggests there's something truly extraordinary at the secret location.
Prof, I've asked my contact to drop this beacon. I'm going to try and get off the ship undetected while they're conducting more scans. They've had this place permit locked for years and have no idea who they are. But it's clear the October Consortium has something to do with it. Otherwise, how else could they get by the permit lock? I'm not sure how long I'll be able to stay without being discovered, but from my initial scans, I think I've stumbled onto something that will blow your mind. Terry.
The 2 October Consortium megaships have now been found. One, the Orion, is waiting in HR 6524, while the Cygnus is conducting some kind of survey, sweeping for potential sites. A partial list of systems the Cygnus is expected to travel through has been discovered, with its visit to Col 359 Sector AE-NB 9-4, the rendezvous system, expected on Wednesday, probably between 1800 and 2200 hours. From there, both ships intend to travel to what the captain of the Orion describes as the target system, presumably arriving there on the morning of Thursday the 4th of September. In a statement issued this morning, Professor Radix wonders who operates the permit for HIP 87621 and why access has been restricted for at least the past 10 years. October Consortium, meanwhile, has issued a bland statement describing their survey operation in the region as routine. So, what is the discovery that Terry has made? The clues are in Terry's specialism, and in the nature of the October Consortium. But let's just deal with a red herring first. Terry says that she took 2 classmates with her, Alex and Alicia, and indeed we find their crashed Lacon Type 9 along the way. Now, while it's true that Alex Ryder and Alicia Fields are historic characters of great importance in the search for Raxxla, this Alex and Alicia are young students, not grizzled 200-year-old veterans from the 3100s. We are not on the verge of finding Raxxla. Terry Tora is an exobiologist. She's tracking the activities of the October Consortium. This organisation, headed up by billionaire investor Lexi October, rescued spacesuit manufacturer Supratech from bankruptcy 6 years ago, when its innovative wearable HUD interface, the Torque, turned out to be a technological failure in the face of stiff competition from less ambitious rivals. The newly invigorated Supratech incorporated many of the Torque features into its Artemis exploration spacesuit, which premiered 2 years later in 3307. So, there seems to be strong circumstantial evidence that this new discovery is something major in the field of exobiology. The possibilities seem to be either the discovery of new flora and fauna, or new equipment to make exobiology easier or more effective. Could there be new flora and fauna that we've missed over the past 4 years of exploration? It seems unlikely that we've missed anything on the planets we've already explored. Perhaps the October Consortium has discovered biomes on planets with thicker atmospheres that we could explore. This sounds like an exciting prospect, but we've had no prior indication that such a thing might be possible. Is this too much to hope for? How about new exploration technology? A full 4 years after the release of the Artemis suit, it seems about time for Supratech, a major innovator in the field of exploration and exobiology, to have developed new or improved technology. The limitations of the genetic sampler, which has only a single canister for biological samples, has been a source of grumbles since it came out. Perhaps October's great stride forward is the ability to sample multiple life forms in parallel. While undoubtedly handy, this sort of incremental change is hardly worthy of the level of secrecy October Corporation's been surrounding itself with. Perhaps it's something revolutionary that we can't even think of. A third possibility would be the discovery of another form of sentient alien life. Besides ourselves, we know of the Thargoids and the Guardians. It doesn't seem impossible that there might be another civilization somewhere in the galaxy. However, HIP 87621, permit locked or not, seems far too close to the bubble to have undiscovered intelligent life on it. Or perhaps the October Corporation have discovered the disembodied mind of Salvation, still in death, plotting his revenge over the Thargoids. We might get at least some answers on Thursday, the 4th of August.